it's Dottie. It's Monday. Time for my orbit video number 230 something. How are you? Today was a pretty good day, although kind of exhausting. I had to work, of course, and I spent the whole day working on that InfoPath form, putting in tons of math calculations. Oh my gosh. I was so glad when it was time to go home. And we also work at the high school on Monday nights, and I actually sat on the couch and fell asleep for a little bit because I was just that exhausted from all of that work. Mentally exhausted. So anyways, what is my video about today? I thought I'd talk a little bit about obesity. And can I just say that I hate that word? And what I hate even more is morbidly obese. I hate that word. And that's what I was. Super morbidly obese, actually, because I was 403 pounds at my top weight. So that put me into that super morbidly obese category. I hate those words. Makes me sound like some sort of nasty monster. Morbid obesity. Anyway, if you've been watching my channel, you know that this past Sunday I participated in the Walk from Obesity, which is a fundraiser for, I can't even remember the name of it. Anyway, obviously to do with obesity. But you had to register, and it was a $25 registration fee, which went towards the organization. And then you could collect donations from friends, family, whatever, and try to raise money. And so, I did that. I, of course, went through Facebook. I did my emails, that kind of things, tried to solicit some donations, and I didn't get any but one $5 donation. And it kind of made me a little sad, because at first I'm like, why won't people donate to this? And then, the other part of me is thinking, okay, people just don't have money, it's whatever, which is probably true. But it just made me think, I wonder how good of an understanding people have of what obesity really is. If you don't have an obesity problem or have never had a weight problem, what's your first thought when you see someone who is overweight? Extremely overweight. I'm not talking just 40, 50 pounds overweight. I'm talking 100, 200 pounds overweight. Someone who is very big. What's your first thought? You see someone in the store, and perhaps they're so big they're using one of those motor scooter things. What's your first thought? Are you checking out what's in their shopping basket, expecting to see a bunch of junk? And maybe sometimes you are seeing junk, but maybe you're not. But is that what you're doing? Are you like, oh, what are they buying? A bunch of shit? Oh my gosh, look at that person. They're so big. They're lazy. They don't do anything, and they sit around and eat a bunch of crap. Is that what you think? Now, in some cases, that may be true. There are some, obviously, I'm sure there are some obese people out there that are that way because they eat nothing but junk and they don't move. And there's some obese people that are completely fine with being overweight, and they're proud of it, and they flaunt it, and they wear things that they shouldn't wear, etc. But then there are those obese people who are are very heavy and they're very sad inside. And they think so poorly of themselves that they are too afraid to seek help. They have gotten into a position where they can maybe hardly walk or whatever, so they don't exercise. But really, depression has taken over their whole self. That's kind of where I was. I was very big. I was 403 pounds. I was super morbidly obese. I had a BMI of 67, I think it was. But I was depressed and very sad and had no self-esteem whatsoever. I never had self-esteem in high school, and it just over the years got worse and worse and worse. Now you'd think somebody that was married and had kids would have some shred of self-esteem, but I really didn't. And it just got worse over time. And you know, what depressed me? A lot of things. The fact that I was big, the fact that I let myself get big, I beat myself up all the time. My mom and her health, my dad and the fact that he just was not a dad. A lot of things. Depression took over my life and kept me from living, and it took a lot to get help, to face the fact that I needed help. I tried many times to lose weight. I tried different things. I was convinced that I could do it. And I tried, and I tried, and I tried, and I failed, and I failed, and I tried, and I failed, and each time I failed, I got more depressed. And then I had a mom who almost seemed somewhat competitive instead of supportive, and that made things tough. A lot tough. A lot tougher than they needed to be. But I had to go through a lot to realize that I needed help. To realize that I couldn't do it on my own. So I sought out weight loss surgery. And let me tell you something. 2 years later, I am so grateful for being less weight and able to do things. But there are times when I still struggle with the fact that I resorted to surgery. And I don't want to say that it was the easy way out, because I don't believe it is. But at the same time, in my head, I was like, why couldn't you do this on your own? Every time I exercise and I'm spending an hour busting my butt and I'm writing down all my food and, and I'm actually doing this and I'm being successful at it, I think, what was my problem before? Why couldn't I do this before? I struggle with that a lot. And so I have to think, and it's like, you know what? You were so depressed, you hated yourself, you couldn't stand yourself, and you didn't think you were worth the time and energy to exercise, the time and energy to write stuff down. You didn't think you were worth the time and energy to do anything that might help yourself. You didn't think you had anything to offer anyone, so you didn't want to put any effort into trying. That's tough. And it's sad because I spent many years not living a full life. And that is so very sad. And so now, I want to try to help people how I can. When I see someone who's severely overweight, my heart hurts inside. I feel bad inside for them because I know what a huge struggle it is. And I just want to, grab them by the shoulders and say, look at them in the eyes and say, you can do this. It is possible. I am proof. You can do this. It is possible. I am proof. You're worth it. You're worth the time and energy that it takes to be successful. You're worth it. Don't let anybody or anything make you think otherwise. So, obesity is a disease, and there's more to it than just overeating and not exercising. And unless you have dealt with it, it's going to be difficult for you to understand. You just have to trust me, though. It's not easy. And even with weight loss surgery, it's not easy. It's very hard for me to admit that. My mind, I don't want to say that weight loss surgery is bad because obviously I needed it. But look, here I am, 2 years out, and I'm still 258 pounds, 2 years out. But the surgery I had, I chose because I wanted the one that would make me work hard. Not saying that the other ones you don't work hard, because there are gastric bypassers, they work damn hard. Same with lap band. I'm just saying, my sister-in-law who had gastric bypass lost tons of weight in a very short time, never had to exercise. She actually had her surgery after I did, and she's like size 1 or whatever. She's very small. She never exercised. Never. So, whatever. It is what it is. I still struggle. I'm not giving up. I still have high hopes of reaching the 100s, and I will get there. It's just taking me a long time. But anyway, my point is, obesity is a disease, and please don't judge a book by its cover, because just because someone is overweight doesn't mean they're a lazy, junk-eating slob. There's a lot more going on than what you realize. Generally. Not always, but generally. So don't judge. It's not your place to judge anyways. It's not my place to judge either. And I just want to be helpful. So, I don't know if any of this helped at all. Kind of helped me just kind of, get it out. But, anyway, that's it for now. Peace, love, smiles. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.